All right. Yeah, I'm back. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast with me, your host, General Prime. I deliberately decided to take a week off. Wink, wink. Like, let me just. I have the perfect excuse for not dropping an episode last week. I deliberately decided to take a week off last week because of the whole problem in Nigeria right now, because of the whole wahala going on in Nigeria right now with the election and the antics and the drama that comes with it. I know you've heard, I'm sure everybody has heard this saying that reality is usually stranger than fiction, right? Like there is no movie or there is no movie, right, that can be as interesting. There's no movie that can be as interesting as the as the shit that happens in real life. I don't think that I've said this stuff before. Like I don't think that any director, any storyteller can can tell a story that is as intriguing and as dramatic and as mind bending and as like plot twisting as reality. Like I don't think that anybody can step up to the shit that happens in real life. Like I don't think any movie can do that because first of all, first thing I want to say is I don't know if anybody has heard this thing, has heard of what swords law means. Like swords law states that anything that's happened, anything that can go wrong will most definitely go wrong. Do you understand? I don't know if it's swords law or Murphy's law. One of what I'm sure both of them are the same thing, but Murphy's law states that anything that can go wrong will most definitely go wrong, right? So here I am 2 weeks ago, hoping here I was 2 weeks ago with a conviction in my heart that Peter Obi was going to win the election. Here I was absolutely sure because of how much energy he put into it, because of how much energy. In fact, I don't know. Like I'm usually blank at this stage. First of all, I still haven't. I'm still like okay. It's a new month, right? And I said that I was going to not drink this month or smoke, and I was just going to concentrate on working out and like getting myself. Not that I am not fit or not that I am out of shape. It's just that I want to concentrate more on it this month, right? So, yeah, I said in my previous episode that I'm not going to drink this entire month, and I am most likely not going to smoke. So let's see how that goes. But as for the drinking part, right, I'm absolutely not going to drink. I'm going to take this whole working out routine seriously this month. So back to what I was saying, right? I was talking about Swords law and Murphy's law and how I was 2 weeks ago absolutely sure that the because of the amount of efforts and the how much campaigning and how much energy that Peter Obi put in his campaigning for the election, and how much he had already captivated and captured the hearts and minds of young Nigerians all over Nigeria. I was already absolutely sure that this man was going to win. And on the 6th of it was the 6th, right? On the 6th of fucking February. What? No, not February. On the 26th, yeah, of February. It was panning out to be so, right? The more I was scrolling, the more I was the whole day I was on Twitter the whole day, bro. I was on Twitter the whole day because obviously I'm not in Nigeria at the moment, so that was the only way I could like know what was going on in Nigeria. So like I was just there the whole entire day, and my body was just sweeting me because as I kept scrolling, I just saw that this guy was winning by a fucking landslide. Like everybody was voting for this guy, and for the most part, do you know that I was wrong? Um, there are so many things I got wrong in my previous episode. So many things I got wrong. I was talking about how a lot of people were going to die. Not that people didn't die, or not that there was not a lot of like pandemonium and chaos and stuff. But I feel like I know that it doesn't seem that way, right? I know that it doesn't seem like what I'm about to say now. It doesn't seem that way. But I feel like this past election, has in a way has been the most peaceful that Nigeria has ever had. I don't know, maybe because like everybody just really wanted one thing, right? And then even the people that were the castigators, like the instigators, like most of them were not really into it anymore. Do you understand? It was just like the very few that that are still in the dark. Do you understand? That were still able to be used as tools to like disrupt the entire election. But for the most part, apart from what we can, the only violence that we could compared to the last election like 4 years ago, right? The only thing that came that the only thing that we could see was like a few videos of thugs raiding polling booths and like cutting away with vote with the whole with everything with what people voted, and that lady that was injured, the lady that people are calling a hero. So those are just the few things that happened during the election for the most part, right? But I mean, for the most part, it was I would say it was rather peaceful, right, compared to how it has been in the past. So thankfully, actually, thankfully. But on that day, on the 26th, right, as in it was just so, as in everybody was in a good spirit that day because Peter Obi was winning and winning. I mean, everybody has seen videos of like people calling out the names as in the numbers, like singing the like there's even a DJ that has even like remixed itself, like because of how much, as in how much votes this guy got, like Peter Obi got. Everybody was just like voting for the guy. Listen, people that were not even supposed to win. Imagine somebody like there's this Nigerian musician called fucking Banky W, right? He was a PDP candidate, and I feel like he has a good spirit, right? He's intentional, and he has good intentions, right? But because he was a PDP candidate, he still lost to some Labour Party candidates, some obscure, unknown Labour Party candidate, because because everybody just went there to vote for Labour Party, regardless of if it's presidential or Senate or judiciary or whatever. Everybody just went there as long as they saw LP, as long as they saw P2B, as long as they saw the man, mama, papa, and Pekin logo. Everybody was just voting P2B regardless. Everybody, like, that is how much of a landslide this guy won, right? That was just, everybody's hope was just high. Everybody was just like, so this as in Nigeria like has finally gotten a breath of fresh air. Like Nigeria will finally get a breath of fresh air, and there will finally be peace and progress in Nigeria. Like everybody was just happy that day, right? There was, oh yeah, I understand, and we know that there are some parts that thugs raided and there was chaos and stuff. But like I said before, for the most part, everything went well, and um, I'm sorry I still have I'm sorry I still have this cough, but like I was saying, for the most part, everything went well. Then night came. Night came, and it seemed like the story changed. We now started seeing we now started seeing some kind of odd happenings going on. Like when I started hearing, okay, not even night, the next day, like everybody went to bed. Like even there were some people that stayed at their polling booths. They didn't want to leave. They didn't want to go until the votes were counted and the votes were recorded. So that when because when evening came, Instead turning out that, oh, the whether is it the INEC website or something like that. See, I don't really know. This is the first time. Listen, I used to. I can remember back when I was like a kid, when I was a child, right? All I wanted to do was watch cartoons. Like all I wanted to do was just watch cartoons and anime and stuff. And I could never figure out why my dad was so fixated and so intrigued by politics and the news and whatever it is that must have been going on at the time. Like I just wanted to watch, just sit in the parlor and just watch cartoons. But then my dad would come and then he would change the channel to politics and the news and stuff. Now I'm grown. Wink, wink. I don't know if I'm grown yet, too. I don't know if I'm grown yet, but now I'm a bit older. I understand the need to know what is going on. Do you understand? I understand that urge that he had right now that I'm grown, because I just want to know everything that is going on. Do you understand? I just want to, because it affects everybody, whether you like it or not. Or even the people that decided that they were not going to vote. Like I have this friend that said she was not going to vote because obviously it's going to have the same outcome, and she does not trust Peter Obi, and the person that she trusts is some Abiola's child, MKO Abiola's child, MKO Abiola's son. He's no longer a, I'm not going to call him a child because he's like an old fucking man right now. So according to her, that's the person that she trusted. She doesn't even she still doesn't even have her vote, her PVC and stuff. So she said she was not going to vote. And I was like, and at the time, I was like, well, it's your choice if you don't want to vote. But when everything scattered and when it came out that Tinubu was seemingly going to win, she then started congratulating Tinubu for being the next president and that God should you what see. There are people that are just fucking odd. See, and that was when I lost it. I understand that what I did by because when she did that, I was kind of I indirectly insulted her and I just indirectly insulted her for for being so unnecessarily and stupidly bipartisan, and then congratulating the person that everybody knows is a thug, is a criminal, is a fucking godfather, is a drug lord, and is just incapable of ruling Nigeria, or should I say governing or being a president to Nigeria. She started congratulating the person and saying that God should use the person. What the fuck are you talking about? So when I indirectly told her fuck you, she blocked me, which is cool. Who cares? But then yeah, I understand that creating this echo chamber of like how will I put it, this tribal echo chamber, because believe it or not, everybody that is claiming to be obedient is being tribal, whether they are from the north or the south or the east or the west. Everybody that is claiming to be obedient, even though it's for a good cause, they are being tribal. So creating this tribal echo chamber where you only want to hear where you only want to hear what you agree with and not hear what you might disagree with, it's kind of not good, right? It's like you're creating this, and then you'll not be able to know when you're wrong and you're right, right? So yes, I understand that what I did by indirectly insulting her and telling and saying fuck you to her and stuff was wrong. But I mean, Nigeria's, as in the fate of Nigeria is at the precipice of like destruction. Do you understand? It can go one of two ways. It can be made or it can be marred. So nobody, no young person has to stand by and just watch and say they're going to vote in the next 4 years because they don't believe. Bro, we are stuck between the devil and DWC. Some people might not agree with Peter Obi's policy or his way of governing or his ideologies and stuff, but the like I've said this 1,000 times, the alternative is this fucking old man, this weak ass old man that every single person know. Like I was watching a documentary today about the Agberos in Lagos State. Do you know that the Agberos in Lagos State are reporting directly to this Tinubu? Like everybody knows that this person is evil. Like every single, it is as clear as day that this person is evil. So why would people want to? The only people that want him to be in power are the people that are the people that somehow gain from him. You understand? So that's why nobody wants, no Nigerian, even the northern herself, don't want him in power. So that's why everybody has been clamoring towards Peter Obi. So back to what I was saying, right? That evening everybody was like, when the whole INEC problem stay like popping its head little by little, the servers were not working, the website was not working, stuff was not working anymore. People didn't want to go back home. People did not want to go back home because, like, enough, as in imagine suffering for the next 4 years. Like, right now in Nigeria, there is no naira in Nigeria. There is no currency. There is no like currency that people can use to buy food to eat. Do you understand? That's how ridiculously difficult it is in Nigeria. That's how ridiculously difficult it is in Nigeria. So imagine that these people had to like keep the naira from Nigerians, just so that they will keep Nigeria under some kind of distorted control, right? So, and imagine that that might be our fate for the next 4 years. So people didn't want that. People did not. Nobody, as in nobody wanted to. Nobody wanted to go home. Yeah, and okay. There's another video I saw of a woman that was killed. Right, She had just finished casting her votes, and then thugs came and they started firing, and then she was killed. Yeah, I just remember that right now. But for the most part, all over Nigeria, people didn't want to go back home because as in everybody was so anxious. Everybody really wanted to see that their votes really mattered. Like, we always say that votes don't count, right? But at this, as in this one, like this one, people made sure that their votes counted, and everybody stayed there until the votes were counted and uploaded. Now, the next day, and then everybody finally went back home. The next day, we now started seeing that from everything that everybody gathered, like the evidence is astounding. There are hundreds of videos online on Twitter that show people counting the votes of Peter Obi's winnings. Do you understand? Like, there are hundreds of videos of people counting how many votes Peter Obi got, and then they'll carefully arrange them and then put them back in the ballot box. Right? Hundreds of videos. And then and then there's this video of this fucking guy, this fucking APC pawn, because obviously he's a pawn. He's not like if he had any iota of sense, he would not be in the game. You understand? Like, they're playing 4D chess with him. So this fucking guy was saying, I'm sure, like, everything I'm saying now, most Nigerians know about it. I'm just giving a recap. Of what happened last week. Friday. I'm just giving it was Friday. Yeah, last week Friday. I'm just giving a recap of what happened, what everybody already knows. I'm just saying this because I decided that I was not going to do any. I decided that I was not going to like put out any episode because this is everything I want to talk about. I just wanted to like wait and see and wait for the outcome and see everything play out in real time so that I can gather all the information that I have, like everything. I can gather all the information that I have accumulated and then like just casually say them, right? Even right now, Seth, I just had to like make an episode because why shouldn't I? You understand? The story itself has not yet finished. Like, where the story has not yet finished because this is a very interesting story. This story this is a very interesting story. The story of Nigeria's 2023 election. It has not yet finished. So let's go back to what I was saying. So this fucking guy comes and says that if he sees anybody voting for that everybody has to vote for APC, and anybody that does not vote for, he's just a thug. He's just a thug that one of the big boys of that run the Agbero Society in Lagos State, and that then reports the Agberos reports to him, and then he reports to some other official, and then those other officials report to Tinubu. So like this whole Agbero stuff where they collect money from hardworking taxi drivers and Okada riders and um uh, is it Keke Napep? Keke Napep drivers in Lagos. They collect money from them. I just watched this documentary just now. So they collect money from them, and then do you know that Aburus they earn like 6,000 naira every day? That's crazy, right? And they every year they generate like 300 million. Is it $300 million? Yeah. Every year they generate $300 million. The Aboros in Lagos State. That's about like they generate $300 million. That's crazy, man. That is fucking wild. So imagine Aboros getting earning 6,000. And again the whole Aboro stuff, right? There is no as in they as in I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it properly. There is no as in there's no there's no structure. Exactly, that's the best way I can put it. There is no structure, so somebody might decide to be an aboro now, and then you just go, and that's why the whole Lagos transport fare in Lagos is very expensive, right? Because the drivers are trying to keep up with how much they give to these people, so that's why they will increase the transport fare. I In the documentary it was saying that somebody was earning 35,000 a month, and then she uses 15,000 for transport fare. How do you expect the person to survive? Do you understand? So these are the people that um, Tinubu uses as his tools, as his pawns to like control Lagos, and to like just like control everybody, and just like decimate everything, and just keep everything under suppression and oppression, and just hopelessness. So is that the person you want to be the head of state of Nigeria? Like people that were voting for Tinubu, right? There are a lot of people that not as much as Peter Obi anyway. Not as much as Peter Obi, but obviously there will always be outliers. There will always be canon fodder. Exactly. There will always be canon fodder. So people that were people that were voting for Peter Obi, like really? Sorry, not Peter Obi. People that were voting for Tinubu, as in really, what's possible? What do you possibly see in him? Like what good do you see that he can do for you? Like why is it that the votes that we saw for Peter Obi were as in, they were effortless, they were just easy, simple, like there is no complication, there were no complications with the votes that we saw for that we saw that Peter Obi got, and there were a lot of them, like so many votes that Peter Obi got. But wherever it was that we saw that Tinubu was supposedly winning, there was mago mago, there was like discrepancies, there was like I don't know, thievery, there were thugs that were ruining everything. Like is as in how is that kind of person the right choice? Like I understand that Nigeria has gotten so rotten that we cannot discern what's good and bad is anymore, right? Nigeria has gotten so corrupt and so rotten and so polluted and distorted that truth truth no longer exists. Truth is so hidden that as in you cannot even feel it anymore. But when evil is so clear and so apparent, like we have gotten to the point where we cannot even recognize that it's evil. You understand? But this time around, right? This time around, like we had to open our eyes. We had to open our eyes to see that oh, we're heading towards the cliff, and if we don't like change course, we are going to fall off. So people wherever it was that Peter Obi was winning, it was effortless, it was simple, it was easy. But wherever it was that like this whole Tinubu was like supposedly like gaining numbers, it was like shady and questionable. So from there, the next day, when I started seeing that, first of all, that night, we started seeing videos of where they were now counting the votes in the dark. There was no like generators. People were doing the counting their votes in the dark using their phone torchlights to see. The servers were not working. The website was not working. Even there were even stories of people being paid. Like we start seeing videos of people being paid, literally being paid to change their votes. I saw a video of where some people were paid 2,000 naira. Ah, God. Oh, see, there is I don't know if you've read. There's this book called God's Debris by Scott Adams, right? He lays out like 5 levels of human consciousness, right? The level one consciousness is consciousness at birth, right, where you have pure innocence and then self-awareness. Then level 2 is like the awareness of you're now being aware of others, and you have this acceptance of authority, and then you have this belief system. Do you understand? Which also like includes indoctrination, right? Then the level 3 is also the awareness that now you start like having this. How do I explain it now? You now start being aware that some beliefs that you have may be wrong, and but you don't know which ones, right? Then level 4, you now start developing skepticism, and then you start adopting scientific method, you start adopting logic and stuff like that. Then in the book, level 5 is like you get to this stage where he calls it the avatar level, right? And you now have this understanding that the mind is a design generating machine, and science is just another belief system, even though it's a useful one, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there are people that will never leave. There are most people, sorry to say, this is sad, most people will never grow past the second level of awareness, and that's just the sad truth. So um it's why these people don't have the mentality to understand that collecting 2,000 naira just to sell their vote for the next 4 years is outrageously detrimental to them. They don't have that understanding, because not everybody has the same level of awareness, or not everybody has the same level of human consciousness. That is just, all fingers are not equal. That is basically what I'm saying. So there are people that are obviously smarter than, just the same way we have people that are hotter than others, the same way we have people that are taller than others, the same way we have people that are more fit than others, the same way we have people that can run faster than some others. It's just the same way that we happen to have. It's the same way we have like people that are handicapped, and they were born with like fucking physical conditions, and then there are people that are like apex athletes. Is also the same way that we have people that are smarter than others, and there are people that were just not born bright. So you cannot really blame them for selling their votes for 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira. You cannot really blame those people, because their worldview is so shallow and so small. So yes, you might be condemning them for doing that, but what else do they know? It's like a North Korean man now. It's like a North Korean man entering a car that drives itself. Like his mind will be blown. You understand? Like somebody from North Sentinel Island in India, just showing them fucking chat GTP. As in their mind, they cannot conceptualize it. Do you understand? So not everybody has the same mental capacity as you, that you're just insulting people. It's not their fault. So these people that are like collecting 2,000 naira to sell their votes, they're not as smart. Do you understand? That's why they're being used. Even yourself that you're even condemning them, you might not be as smart as something else that is higher than you, right? So there are people that were, so they were just pawns. They were just pawns. They were selling, maybe like bro, there are people that don't have money in Nigeria right now. There are people that are buying on credit, on credit, on credit, hoping that like things things like get back to normal. Do you understand? So that 2,000 naira now that somebody is selling their vote for, it was the intent, it is the intended effects, right? Somebody selling their vote for 2,000 naira is the intended effects, because they had to hoard all the currency, they had to like hide it, they had to keep it for themselves, so that Nigerians will starve, and Nigerians will be in pandemonium, and Nigerians will panic, and then they will like just act irrationally. Do you understand? So that 2,000 naira now that somebody is selling their vote for might be all they need to just feed their child, or to just like buy food for that. That yes, it's not going to last them for a long time, but at least just to eat at that moment, that point in time. That's all that matters. So that's why I saw videos of people selling their votes, and they were mostly old people. So you cannot blame them. Do you understand? So they are selling their votes for like 2,000 naira. And the one that even baffles me is that people were selling their votes on credit. It's like, what? What? How fucked up do you have to be? Or should I say, see, listen, I always try to come from a place of understanding. Right? Anytime I'm trying to criticize something or taking a stand against something, I like to see things from their own point of view. Right? So when I finally see things from their point of view, it's like there's no point of criticizing them harshly again, because now I know where they're coming from. Right? So I already talked about these five levels of human consciousness by Scott Adams in his book God's Debris. So I already understand. So if so now I cannot insult somebody that sold their votes on credit. You understand? I cannot insult somebody that sold their. In fact, I cannot insult somebody that sold their vote on credit. The person I'm going to insult is the person that is selling, that is telling somebody that give me your votes later. Give me your vote and your name. Later, I'll give you money. Like you're the evil one. Like you're the one taking advantage of this weak-minded person. You're evil. You're not a good person. You know that what you're doing is absolutely not right. You're taking advantage of somebody that does not know better. You know better. It's like all these fucking transgender people on in America that are trying to that are trying to like all these transgender people that take their that's all these fucking drag queens, right? They dance naked in front of children, and they are justifying it that it is not sexual. You know what being sexual is, but those children don't know, and you're doing it in front of them. Like you're sexually molesting them, even though they are children and they don't understand what is going on. You know better, and you're still doing the wrong thing. So that's just how I see it. That is just how I interpret it. These people that are selling their votes on credit, they're not to be blamed because they don't know any better, even though they understand that they're suffering. Do you understand? These people that are selling their votes for 2,000 naira, they don't know much, they don't know better. But the ones that are buying the votes both on credit and buying it for 2,000 naira, those are the ones that we have to condemn. These are the people that Tinubu sent. You also have to understand that Tinubu did not just like he's giving, and this 2,000 naira that he's giving is mint new naira notes. So mint new naira notes. Do you understand? Now then there is this other guy now that they caught with $500,000. My housemate was explaining because we went out and then we're coming back, and then we saw this Porsche 911, right? This GT3 RS. And it's like one of those cars is like $150,000, right? So multiply that by two. This guy Tinubu gave this guy $500,000, right? And he was caught. There's one video of somebody of like this guy now that he was caught with $500,000, and then he was arrested, and then he didn't even, in the picture and the videos that I saw of him, he didn't even seem bothered, because obviously he knows that he was going to get bailed. You understand? And then there's another video of someone that was caught with money trying to sell votes, and then he was beaten, and his money was collected from him and shared, which was funny. But understanding that somebody like understanding that there are people all over Nigeria that were that had money on them and were willing to buy the votes of Nigerians. Like there were so many things in play, so many things at play, just to make sure that Peter Obi does not win, because they did not know that what happened on the 26th of February was going to happen. Like they didn't know, they didn't understand, they thought that Peter Obi's whole fame and his whole ranting was just going to end on social media, was just going to end on Twitter. Like the famous quotes, the famous quotes articles quotes that there is no structure. And then the reporter was like, but he has the youths. And article was like, well, let the youths vote for him. And the youths voted for him. Like everybody came out in huge numbers, en masse. Everybody came out to vote, and this is one of the most interesting things that has happened in Nigeria in a very very long time. No, I don't think that Nigerians have been as unified as they were on the 26th of last month. I don't think so in a long time anyway. Apart from except from is it 20th of October 2020, right? Yeah, except that day. I don't think that Nigerians have been like unified like that. I don't think so. So when all these whole shenanigans now started coming out that hmm, the servers were not working, INEC websites and stuff was not working, and then the next day when I started seeing that holy shit, that the votes now started changing, magically changing. Where Peter Obi was winning before, he was no longer winning. It was now APC that was winning. What? Where he won, like the local government areas that he won, the cities that he won, the polling booths that he won, it was now APC. Like it was not APC that was now like it was not APC that was now like carrying the numbers. Shit, man, my heart just dropped. Like the 26th of fucking February, man, I went to bed happy. Like I went to bed happy and I went to bed hopeful. Like hopeful. I went to bed hopeful. And then the next day I woke up and then I was just demoralized, man. Fuck. I was just like, fuck. So we actually lost. Like, not that we lost because we didn't have enough voters, but we lost because these people had this coordinated plan to rig the election. So as in, I was just fucking down, man. Like I was just scrolling Twitter like endlessly, like just scrolling. I was just seeing everything that was going on, and it was just fucked up. And then I started saying that we should wait for the North. We should wait for the North. We should wait for the North. Then we're not waiting for the North. And then footage is now started coming out from the North, and we're seeing children fucking voting. Like we saw videos of children, little literal children voting, and I was just like, you know how, you know how these Northerners breed, man. They breed like what can I use now as a very good example? They breed like bees. These fucking Northerners, man, they breed like fucking bees, man. I saw children were fucking voting, and then they now asked one, what was that? I don't even know his fucking name, bro. I don't know anybody's name, man. They now asked the guy like, this fucking is he an inspector general of police or something? I don't know. They asked the bastard like, why were children voting? And Papa said that those were not children, those were like physically challenged people. I'm just paraphrasing here. Like he was indirectly saying that those were not children, they were either midgets or dwarfs, or like people that were just that had stunted growth, which was just as in that deserved that response. If I was that reporter, I would have slapped him. I swear. See, I like giving reporters shit, right? Because of how like they're always in your face. They like just carry their microphone and trick your face. Like it's always annoying, right? But in this instance, like I wish I was that reporter, because I would have slapped that man. I would have slapped him because why are you lying? Right? Why are you lying, sir? Like what? How much did they pay you to lie? Like How much did they pay you to listen? This is not even like all these the INEC officials that collected bribe. By the way, thunder fire INEC. I say, listen. Obviously, we knew that there was going to. We didn't just think that Peter Obi was going to have an effortless win or a simple. We didn't think. We didn't. As in, did we actually think that Peter Obi is just going to like get all the votes and then he's going to be inaugurated as the president and everybody's going to sing Kumbaya and then we'll live happily ever after? Is that what we thought was going to happen? Did we think that these bastards, these evil people, were not going to put up a fight? Is that what we thought? Obviously not. They were obviously going to, as in, it's like they were going to put up a fight. They were going to like fight it, grab, as in they were going to fight for that power, that intoxicating power. So, but these INEC people now that were bribed, right? Everybody that was bribed, everybody, all the top officials that were bribed just to rig this election. My question to you is: yes, you've gotten like, let me say, highest $5,000, right? 2 million naira, or more. Let's say you've gotten like $20,000, because I'm sure Tinubu spent a lot of money for Agborus to be getting $300 million every year. You know that Tinubu has like a preposterous amount of money. Hmm? So I'm sure he spent a lot of money. What's his name? Peter Obi also spent money. Like, you have to spend money for your campaign. I'm not saying that he spent money on bribery and stuff, but you have to spend money for your presidential campaign. That's just how it works. Even we'll get to that point later. So, but the people that the money trickled down on, right? The people that got that enabled the bribery and the rigging and the corruption. Where, how long do you think that money is going to last you? Like, do you think that money is going to send your children to university and build you a house and buy you a car and stuff? Like, how? As in, is it that people don't think far? Is that people don't think far? Like, okay, let's say you buy a car. Where are you going to drive the car on? The documentary I was watching today about the Aburus in Lagos. The reason the documentary says that there are 75,000 buses, like yellow buses in Lagos. 75,000, and look at how small Lagos is, and look at how like there are not a lot of roads, like major roads in Lagos. I'm not sure. I've not been to Lagos that much, but there are not a lot of roads in Lagos, and so there's always like hold up everywhere. And God help you if you carry your private car in Lagos, because it's obviously going to get scratched, right? So where are you going to drive all this car? There's no electricity in Nigeria. There's no peace of mind. Every night you'll be hearing generator. Everybody's on it. I pass my neighbor generator. Like, there's just chaos in Nigeria. So is that the life that you want to continue living forever and ever and ever and ever? Like, can't you envision something better? Like, don't you have like a concept? Can't you conceptualize a better world? Is it that you're going to continue living on bribery and corruption? Like, you're going to continue living on bribes? Is that your legacy? Me, I'm always this legacy person. Like, I want my legacy to be outstanding. You understand? So I'm always big on legacies. So is that your legacy? Like, is that your legacy? Is that what you want for the rest of your life? Like, sometimes when I see people, like, for example, now, like all these sometimes when you're on Twitter, and then you see or Instagram, and then you see all these like OnlyFans models, right? And then I don't know, I've said this thing before. When I'm high and when I smoke, right, and I get so high, and then I look at somebody's face, like, I don't see because everybody wears masks, right? Everybody wears masks, and but when I'm high and then I look at someone's face, like, I'm able to see through the mask. You understand? Like, I'm able to see through the mask, and I'm able to like look at their face, and I'm able to look at their eyes, and I'm able to like somehow know them. Do you understand? So whenever I see all these fucking OnlyFans models, they might be smiling or they might be caked with makeup and stuff. But then I just look at their eyes and like, ah, fuck this. This person is living a fucking sad life, man. So it's just the same way with these enable these election fraud enablers. Like, is that your legacy? You understand? Is that your legacy? So the next day, when I started seeing that Tinubu was winning, Tinubu was winning left and right, front and back, up and down. He was just winning votes, casting, winning anyhow. You see, like Tinubu will get like 35,000 votes, and Labour Party will get like 8. What? Imagine Tinubu winning see, another thing I want to say again. See, I'm a Port Harcourt boy. I know that we in Port Harcourt we have bragging rights. A Lagos somebody from a Lagos guy now cannot just come and start shouting for a Port Harcourt boy. You understand? We humble them. That is just Port Harcourt. Rivers State. Let me just say, Port Harcourt is the Texas of Nigeria. You understand? You know how you don't mess with Texas in America, right? You just don't mess with Port Harcourt. But in this case, we fucked up big time. We fucked up big time in the sense that, first of all, our fucking governor Wiki. We thought that this guy was like Wiki fucked up. Wiki betrayed Port Harcourt. Wiki betrayed Port Harcourt. He sold us out. So even though because it was in Port Harcourt where the guy that came to sell it to buy votes, and he was found, and then they beat him and collected his collected his money. That happened in Port Harcourt too. They beat my nigga and collected his money, and shared the money, and still voted for Peter Obi. Even though that happened, even though a lot of people voted for Peter Obi in Port Harcourt, many people voted for Peter Obi. Like, he won by a landslide in Port Harcourt. At the end of the day, it still came out that APC won, because there is this other video I now saw online again of where fucking Wiki was like this. The video was taken discreetly. I don't know if it was discreetly, but I'm not sure he knew that they were recording him. So Wiki was he was on a video call with fucking Tinubu. Now was talking about how he's going to leave PDP and join APC, and also the votes that the people he's going to turn the votes that there was given to Peter Obi, and then he's going to like help and change the votes to and change it in favor of APC. He didn't know that he was. I'm not sure he knew that he was being recorded, but this is what was going on in the video. So imagine that APC won in Port Harcourt. That is not even logical. Does not make any sense that APC win in in Port Harcourt. APC lost in fucking Lagos, right? So how is it that APC for the first time lost in Lagos but won in Port Harcourt? Does not make any sense, right? So this is how far that these people went just to make sure that Peter Obi does not win. So when we now started seeing all these shenanigans happening, everything was just going left. Everything was just going left. People now started losing hope. It's like, as in, people started losing so much hope. But I didn't think that the story was over. That was why I didn't even want to like making it. That was why I did not even want to like record last week. I just wanted to wait to see what happens. I just wanted to see what happens. And I started coming out that the INEC people were they were like in connection with the rigging. You understand? Like, they were part of it. They were let me say, they were in cahoots with the fucking corrupt people, and they were deliberately not making the I even have, I think, yeah, somebody sent me a video, somebody sent me a voice note of what happened, of one of the NYSC guys, right, that were in charge of doing the whole, what's it called, the whole fucking voting stuff, right? You know, like, there are students that were tasked with, what am I even saying? So anyway, somebody sent me a voice note of what one of the guys that were one of the should I let me just call them the invigilators, right? One of the invigilators of one polling unit. His experience. So wait, let me just play it so that people understand what I'm saying.
No. Only God will save us. Yesterday I work for polling unit as PO, presiding officer for Port Harcourt here for Biapo. I conduct election, finish. Then tell us for INEC office. Say look, we don't upload the results because they want to come back, then go change the results before they upload them. So they give us wrong password, we don't know. What the password will they give us as presiding officers for that BVAS machine where you see there, wrong password, we don't know what's in this one. Only for me to go polling unit, conduct election, finish, count all the votes, do result by 8:30 yesterday night. Make I upload because the community people they say I don't go until I upload that result. They say only for me to try to upload results. The password they show me invalid. These people won't beat me for jail. They don't be saying a lie, they hit the table. 2 years with me and then follow to the INEC work on the car, they fear. They say me I need to step on the inch until I upload that result. And they call my SPO, my supervisor, nobody switched off. They try call people where to help resolve the issue. Nah, no way. 9 o'clock in the night, we still dead there for polling unit for we are not even happy. Fear won't kill me yesterday night. I say, what can make me risk my life? So I can't call the customer care of the people where do the BVAS machine, their customer care line, when they talk to one of their agents, when they tell them the situation on ground, say if I don't upload this result for these people, say these people feel do the unbelievable here, say my life they at risk. The guy can say, okay, he will help me, but say the one way he will help me do at the offline upload. That's it, that offline upload, he will just show say you know upload, but he no go. So he can tell me, ask me the unit and everything. I can tell them, all those guys can't come down for the unit. As I tell them, I don't find solution, they can't come down. I can talk to them, the guy can show me how to do the offline. Say, off the data, off things, off. I can do the offline upload, can snap and upload, can upload them. They can't happy, so I don't upload them. They can carry me with them, to go and office, drop me, tell me thank you, can't go. Now as these people go enter in the office, soldiers don't free there. That's what they surround us, collect all the result from our hand, change everything. This is what I tell you. People, Labour Party win for senatorial, win for House of Rep, win for presidential. In short, people don't want to know who the House of Rep. But when I say they see Labour Party, they go vote Labour Party. For my polling unit, Labour Party get like 250 something votes. PDP get like 4, APC get like 7. Then change APC on to Labour Party, carry Labour Party on to APC. For my front, Kuru, I know if you talk, I know if you do thing, I know if you cry. I just carry my kaya, turn back. The officer escorts me to gate. I walk at the go house, die for my front. Last night I know if you sleep. I say, if not like this, how people will be go pick win? If for Port Harcourt, him and Port Harcourt don't drag anything, then they lead election for Tinubu. Then talk of Northerners, how Northerners will do, how Yoruba people will do. Mike using leg go ward 9, using 2 leg carry soldiers go ward 9, change all the results to Tinubu. Yesterday, Obiapo, live. So tell you the level of corruption with the for INEC. So all these things where they call, don't kill yourself. Now only God will make an overturn and say maybe mistakenly they say it will be win. If not this one with INEC man they call, it will be not go win. They don't tamper out the result. These things where they see whether they give Tinubu na it will be result with that.
Damn. Imagine like waking up in the morning on the 27th and then hearing this stuff. As in how will you just feel? Like you just lose every iota of hope that you have, right? You just lose every fucking iota of hope, man. We don't have any beef with fucking APC. We don't. And yet, this is what happened in a whole Port Harcourt. People even started beefing Port Harcourt niggas. So people started beefing us. The only thing we know how to do now, our boy, come here. They worry you. That is the only thing that we know how to do. Give me a phone. Give me a phone. Wait till they your pocket. If I see your pocket, they go. That's the only thing that we know how to do in Port Harcourt. People now started beefing us so that we could not even fight. But how can you fight? What are you going to do actually? Like this guy is talking about how they wanted to lynch him. We don't fuck up. We don't joke now in Port Harcourt. They wanted to lynch that nigga until he was able to produce that offline password. Then they thanked him. They even dropped him at INEC office. So when he entered INEC office, that was where he saw soldiers. So soldiers that Wiki carried. So they in front of him there, bro. They changed everything. You're hearing what the guy said. They changed everything. So what do you expect the guy to do? It's not like okay, people that are beefing Port Harcourt, that are saying that we could not do anything. What do you expect? What do you expect us to do now? They are doing these things were being done behind closed doors, right? Behind closed doors. But thankfully, there were people that were brave enough to be able to record some of the things that were happening. Thankfully, so it now started as in this on the first, like as in when everybody had already lost hope that oh Tinubu has won, oh, Tinubu has won. So we're going to suffer like this for the next 4 years, and not even 4 years, oh. Like him now, he has entered power now. If he enters power, if he enters power, he's going to have to rule again for another. For that means 8 years, oh. Person go for don't enter 40 years by the time this nigga come out office. So shit, fuck, what? God forbid, Barton. Person for don't enter 40 years old by the time, that means the future. That means we're no longer the future of tomorrow now. That means we are no longer the future. We have become the past. We have now joined them to become the past, because now the future of, like, my friend's child just celebrated his fucking 8th year. He just turned 8. To him now, he's the future of Nigeria. Oh, we now, we're no longer. By the time Tinubu rules for 8 years, like, oh boy, God forbid, oh, God will forbid. As in me, I don't believe in God, though. I always say, but whatever is the placeholder for this universe will forbid it. No, we cannot do that. We cannot do that. So, well, so thankfully, people that had receipts, like, do you know one thing? One good thing that Obasanjo did for us is that he brought in telecommunications into Nigeria. Like, he revolutionized telecommunications in Nigeria. He brought in telephone, um, um, handsets, phones that we're able to use, and the advent of, listen, the internet has changed a lot. Remember, as in, there was a time in the past when, like, the priests were the ones that read the Bible to the people, because people could not read, they could not write, and they sure as hell didn't know what the fuck was in the Bible. So the priests were able to say whatever it is they wanted to say, and then manipulate the people and deceive them and just control them, and then, like, imprison their state of mind. You understand? And even kings could not even read back then. They had scribes that read for them and wrote for them. Do you understand? So, but as time went on, and then, like, books now started becoming popular, and started becoming literate, and were not able to read, and then the Bible went from the hands of the priests to the hands of the common person, and people were not able to find out what it is the Bible was saying, and they were able to apply logic to it, and everything was just changing gradually. And then we went from the printing press, and then when I stay, like, books became more popular. People were now becoming more and more literate. People were now being able to read. Do you understand? The mind was expanding, and we went from that to, like, basically the computer age, and then from the computer age we enter the internet age, and now information is at our fingertips. Do you understand? It is now difficult. People are still, I mean, we are apes. We are apes, and so it is still very possible to we're still very gullible. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is a lot more difficult now to deceive people. Like, if you send me, if I get an email and then I read it, I'll immediately know that this is a scam, right? This whole earthquake that just happened now, and Yahoo boys are, like, trying to scam people out of their money and the kindness of their hearts, because people are willing to help the people that have been affected by the earthquake. Whenever I get text messages of them saying that we should donate money, I just know, oh, this is this is a scammer, right? People are a lot more attentive now, and a lot more difficult to even Yahoo self. Like, before, back then, the whole love scam stuff and Nigerian prince stuff. Like, a lot of people used to fall for it back then. Compared to the amount of people, there are not a lot of people that fall for it this time around, like these days, right? So it's a lot more difficult now for Yahoo boys to be doing love scam. So what they're now into is, like, hacking and phishing and stuff like that, right? So the internet has changed a lot, but these people, like, these old ass people in power, they don't understand the power of the internet. That is what they cannot conceptualize. They are still, like, the fact that they they think they hold all they still think they hold all the power, right? They still think that they hold all the power. They still think that we are our parents. You understand? They still think that we are living in 1994, where like information was strictly limited, and like it was difficult to know what was happening. You understand? And like this, that's just what they think. They don't understand that they don't understand that Nigerians are, bro, the demography in Nigeria like is constituted of mostly young people. Like we, as in, bro, we have like a very rich human resource in Nigeria, where most of the population are young people, and so these young people are hungrily educated. I like to give Nigerians a lot of crap. Oh, forget. I like to talk shit about Nigerians, but let me tell you the fact. We Nigerians are hungrily educated. Like we want to know, we want to learn, we want to, as in, there's this stuff that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He was in his last in his last episode on Joe Rogan. There is this stuff that he said about Nigerians. Wait, let me see if I can find the damn plate. All right, I just found it. This is what this guy said about Nigerians. Just listen.
Entity, you're not looking for people smarter than you. You're not. There's other evidence here. Do you realize that the people who get the highest scores on standardized tests in England are people, immigrants from the Igbo tribe in Nigeria, and their kids outscore all the quote native white people in the town. If you're not looking for them, you're not finding them. It just doesn't.
So yeah, I give Nigerians a lot of shit, but we're fucking intelligent. We're intelligent and we're smart and we're hungry for change. Do you understand? But these godfathers, these old ass men, these like fucked up, used and outdated people, they don't understand that. So when that reporter was telling Atiku that the youths are on P2P's side, and then he was like, well, let the youth go and vote, that we don't have any structure, that our power is only on the internet and our power is only on social media. Bruh, that was indicative of how little the man knows about the power of social media. Like there's this story I saw, not on TikTok, but I saw a story on Instagram, but it happened on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, I can never have TikTok. So the story is about this man, right? That he wrote a book, like 12 years ago, I think, and but the book didn't sell well, and so his daughter just made a TikTok video of how passionate her father is about writing books, and she showed the video of the book that her father wrote 12 years ago, and she was like, "Oh, he didn't get any sales," and then immediately, just like this, immediately, the guy's book went to like #1 on Amazon. What? That's just to show you how powerful the internet can be when it is used for something positive, and when it is used for something good. So, but these old men, they don't know. They don't know what is going on. They don't know what is going on. So when people now start compiling evidence of all the atrocities and all the mago that they did, when people now start showing receipts of all the things, of all the looting, all the places where the thugs came and carted away with the ballot boxes and stuff, when people now start showing the amount of votes that Peter Obi, the amount of legitimate votes, if I might add, that Peter Obi got, when people now start showing everything that was going on, they start showing videos, bro, man, like the universe had to like heed to it. The universe had to like give it its listening ear. So that's where we are right now, right? Shout out to all the see this what is his name, Kenneth Okonkwo, like the Nigerian actor, right? I never knew that this man was that articulate. I never I never knew that the man was that articulate when he laid out everything that happened in chronological order. When he laid out everything that was going on, laid out how, like, he just like laid out everything with so much steeze and so much like he with so much steez, so much he was so like he was so much eloquence, so he's just very very expressive, very communicative, as in absolutely well spoken, as in effortlessly fluent. Like you can just understand what that nigga was talking about. Like he should be our next president too. No joke, I swear to God. Like he should be our next president because we need people that are good. We need statesmen. You know how Obama was a statesman, right? Like he had swag. He had like he was cool and calm and calculated, and he had like as in he was just you understand what I mean by a statesman, right? We need statesmen. We don't need like we don't we don't need sad. I mean, have you not seen okay when what's his name, the Tinubu that the Tinubu that we're talking about, when he now finally wanted to do his pseudo inauguration, he was now talking about he was even making mistakes. First of all, he was sluggish, he was slurring his words, he was sluggish, he was slow, he was making a lot, he was calling himself a governor. You're not, you don't even deserve that name to be like there's this quote, bro, there's this quote that this this now famous quote that that Peter Obi said, that if you want to be called an excellency, if you want to be called the excellency, your excellency, the process by which you got to that seat has to be excellent. That's like a very, me, I'm paraphrasing it right now, but that is a very great quote, right? That's a fucking great quote. If you want to be called your excellency, the process by which you got to that seat has to be excellent, and that's objectively true. That's just the truth. You have to be a fucking statesman. You have to be right for the job. You understand? You cannot just want it because it's apparently your turn. What do you even mean by it's your turn? Your turn to do what? Can't you go and rest? Eh? Can't you go? You're old. See, it's unfair. It's unfair that they are pushing this Tinubu to be the president. He's an old, tired man. I keep saying it over and over again. He's old and he's tired and he's sad and he's one and he's outdated. So we need statesmen like someone like Kenneth Okonkwo. Like I won't be mad. I won't be mad if Kenneth Okonkwo wants to run for president. I will vote for him. So we need people like that, and we need people like Peter Obi. So this guy was just articulate and he just laid out everything that happened, and he could not be disputed. Everything he was saying was just right and true and factual. You understand? So when all the whole evidence against Tinubu started coming out, it now came out that Peter Obi okay, they were now saying that okay, it's what is his name, Tinubu was saying your candidate did not win. He was just talking rubbish, rubbish. That's what that nigga was just talking nonsense. So obviously, okay, the INEC officials and everybody else was saying they have to take it to court. And in their mind, that see, to show you how delusional these people are, they still don't understand that they no longer have the power. Now this is like 2 days after, right? Because on that 27th, I had already lost hope that Nigeria Nigeria's own case has gone. Even the first of March, I was like, every people that were wishing each other happy new month, like it was not a happy new month. Everybody was just sad and depressed and just like tired. Do you understand? Everybody was just like tired. And nobody nobody wanted to hear anything. Do you understand? Nobody wanted to hear shit. So when it now this was like days later, like let me say 2 or 3 days later, um I was not and I started seeing it's like you're in a boxing match, and you're the returning champion, or let me say you're the contender for the belt, and then they knock you down, and everybody had high hopes on you that you're going to win the match, and then you get knocked down, and everybody, like, there's this looming feeling that you're going to lose, and everybody's just giving up hope. And then gradually, all of a sudden, like, saw this slowly but surely, you stand up. When I started seeing stuff, and I saw this video where Peter B was like, remain calm, bro. that means that this guy has a plan. This guy has a plan. He's playing like 4D chess with these people, these fucking backwards, outdated people. It means that the nigga has a plan. I first heard that he was no longer in Nigeria, but that was false. That was false. But turns out he was in Abuja. So he was now urging Nigerians to please remain calm because he has a plan. So he now sued. I think he sued INEC and he sued Tinubu, and like where we are right now, we're in this process where the certificate for I don't know what it's called, the certificate of return that was given to Tinubu to like inaugurate him as the official president of the country. They've now, like, I don't know, they're going to nullify it because it's apparently not legitimate. Not apparently, it's obviously not. What do I mean by apparently? It's obviously not legitimate. So they were like, okay, the candidate that did not win, right, they should go to court. They said the candidate that did not win should go to court because in their minds they already had people in court that they had already bribed. You know, they see what they hear, what they see, what that they see. They already had people in court that they already bribed, so that anybody that wants to like contend or anybody that wants to dispute the result and stuff, they are obviously going to lose because the people in court have already been bribed by fucking Tinubu. Do you understand? So, but yet they didn't know that. As in, do you know that there are even there are people online that are saying that if Tinubu wins, that their faith in God, they're going to lose their faith in God. That is, as in, this is how bad it has gotten, to the point that Nigerians that carry Bible on their head, Nigerians that are die Christians, are saying, some of them are saying that if Tinubu becomes the president of Nigeria, that they are no longer going to believe in God. Like the faith of Nigeria is so important that the people are willing to lose their faith in God. Because the reason why they're doing it is because obviously they must have fasted and prayed for what's his name, for Peter Obi to win, rightfully so. I agree with that. I'm not complaining. They fasted and prayed, and now it's coming out that he is most likely not going to win. But God forbid, though. God forbid, though. But so people are like, oh, because of that, their faiths are being their faith in God is now being, like, tested. And well, thankfully there is a plan, and the plan is that Peter Obi is taking these bastards to court. And also he's intelligent. That is what these people fail to understand. The only thing that they can do now is just like put a bullet in him, but then it will now be obviously that one will now be like the now. You see, in the past, that was what they used to do. They used to, like, to hush people up or to shut them up. They used to kill them. If you can remember Ken Saruwiwa, the guy that was fighting Nigeria and fighting Shell Company, because of the bullshit that they were doing in the Niger Delta back then, and then Shell Company paid Nigerian government to assassinate him, and then he was killed. Not even that he was assassinated. He was arrested, and I think he was hung, right? But now then his family sued Shell and won, right? So back then, this was how they used to do to, like, silence opposition up. They just, like, kill them. But now we're in the internet age and everybody is looking at you, that they know now that move is no longer what's the word now I'm looking for? That move is no longer, like, valid. It's not a valid move. It's not an intelligent move. It's a very good move, but it's not an intelligent one. So they have to fight, and Peter Obi is going to bring receipts. So that is where we are now. Peter Obi is obviously going to bring receipts, and hopefully, bro, hopefully, because the receipts that is going to bring is not one or two. There are plenty. There are plenty. I've seen a lot of like videos and stuff of where INEC is like really, really, really actively, as in um rigging or distorting the outcome of the election. Do you understand? I've seen videos of people that are counting votes. I've also seen like where they've thrown. Sorry about that. I've seen where they've thrown people's voters card. Like there's this video I saw where like there were a bunch of voters card in some abandoned stadium, and people like, bro, there's just a lot of chaos, man. There's just a lot of fucking chaos, all because Nigeria is like the fate of Nigeria is like hanging by a thread, and bruh, it Nigeria needs to be saved, because if we don't save Nigeria, as we don't have naira now in Nigeria, people are hungry, people are starving. No, nothing. As in, the country is on a standstill right now. If we don't fight for it, bro, it's going to get worse. If we don't fight for it, it's going to get, as in, it's going to get unbearably worse. So, to all the people that congratulated fucking Tinubu, well, I don't know what to say, because this another thing I want to say again is that this has kind of convinced me more that we're living in a solipsistic universe, or we're living in a solipsistic reality, where you're red, even though both of us understand it to be red, or even though both of us understand the color of an apple to be red. There is this possibility that what you see as red might not be what I see as red, but we might both agree that because this is an apple, and an apple has to have a color, and the color that we have assigned to it is red. What you see as red might not actually be what I see as red. So the outcome of this election is convincing me more and more that we are living in that reality where you see something that is apparently and clearly and objectively true, and somebody else sees it as a lie. It's like, first of all, the first thing I want to say is this: we are all clamoring towards Peter Obi because we see him as this savior figure, right? And we don't have any other choice. The alternative is either Atiku or Tinubu, and those are invalid choices, right? Now, we don't really know what he's a sweet talker. What's his name? Peter Obi. He's a sweet talker. He knows how to like rile people up. He knows how to like pull our emotional strings. He knows how to like get to us. Do you understand? He knows how to like get to the hearts of Nigerians. But we don't actually. He knows what to say that can what is the word, that can create sympathy in us for him, and then make us reflect and say that, oh, I know, and think that, yeah, we have suffered a lot, and this is the person that's going to get us out of this wilderness. So, but yet we don't actually know. We don't. He's the name of his party is Labour Party, right? So, what does that mean? Is he a democratic president? Like, is he a socialist? Does he practice socialism? Does he practice communism? Why is the name of your party Labour Party? Like, are you a Marxist? What are you a communist? So what are you actually going to do? Yes, you know that you're going to save a lot of money and this and that and that, but what are you actually going to do? Because we don't need sweet talking in Nigeria. You understand? We need actual action. Nigeria has not yet reached industrial age, believe it or not. Believe it or not, Nigeria has not yet reached the industrial age, because we don't have any machines. There are no machines around the world now that are made in Nigeria. There are no, even the car that we produce in Nigeria, Innocent, is just another annex of these Chinese companies. Do you understand? The Innocent cars that you see in Nigeria, they're not actually designed and researched and developed by actual Nigerians. They're just a company in China that brings its products to be fucking compiled and like packaged in Nigeria and then given the name Innocent. There's nothing that we have, right? We are not yet industrialized in Nigeria. We need electricity. We need constant. Once you have constant electricity, once you have energy, then you can be able to do everything else. Like Peter B was talking about these graduates that graduated from school, but I wants to do and wants to be a baker, but she does not have a fucking oven. You don't have a fucking oven. Okay, now he finally gave her money to buy an oven, but she needs electricity. Like, what are you going to use to run the oven? She needs like constant electricity. She needs a deep freezer to store her stuff. She needs there's a lot more that there's a lot more than just a fucking oven, right? So Nigeria needs power, electrical power. That's the first step. That's the first thing that Nigeria needs: uninterrupted power supply. And from there, then we can whatever else we want to do that can help us to achieve it a lot faster and smoother, from roads to infrastructure to everything else. Do you understand? Nigeria needs reinvention. So yes, Peter Obi is a smooth talker, is a sweet talker. He can pull the hearts and minds of Nigerians, and people love him. But what what is he actually going to do? Like, what is he actually going to do for Nigerians? So this is my question. Oh, this is my question. I understand that everybody loves Peter Obi, but what is he actually going to do for Nigerians? So this is what makes me kind of have this belief that we're living in a solipsistic reality. Yes, I understand that Peter Obi, we don't know his actual ideologies, we don't know his actual uh like we don't know his policies and stuff, but at the end of the day, he's what Nigerians want, like wholeheartedly want. People, you see people standing whenever let's say like in a restaurant, an open restaurant, or at a cafe or something, and then the TV is on and it's Peter Obi that is on screen. People are standing and watching and paying attention and being attentive and listening to what this nigga is talking and saying. Everybody is just like everybody's tired of the same old bullshit. So people that we are congratulating what's his name, Tinubu, for winning. Like, it makes me feel like we're living in this solipsistic reality where truth is subjective. You understand? What I might find to be the truth might be what you find to be a lie. You understand? Like one man's food being another man's poison. So I don't know what to say to those niggas. I don't know what to say to them. But at the end of the day, this is what Nigeria. This is who Nigerians have chosen, and this is who Nigerians want. And we hope. I don't know. The story has not yet ended. Obviously, the story. Like, this is just part one of the entire thing, right? I think I'm even going to leave like a part one on the title of this episode, because I'm sure the story has not yet ended. There is still a lot more unfolding, and I don't know. I cannot. I think I've covered everything like that has happened up to this point. I think I've covered everything. Okay, the one I know I have not yet covered is like when like Atiku is now like trying to negotiate and like talk about thinking of wanting to join forces with Labour. I don't know how that can work. Like, he was the one that was like clowning on him before, that the youths let the youths vote for him, that we don't have any structure and all that bullshit. And now he's now the one that is like wanting to like join forces. That was not, no, sir. We don't want. We don't. But I think he's a sore loser, shall bro. Like, this guy's been running over and running. The guy is relentless. I'm going to give him that, sha. He's relentless. He has been running over. Like, anytime he runs and he loses, he runs and he loses, and he still hasn't given up. I don't know what he's I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has. If he just wants to steal money, but these people, we just can't trust them. We just can't trust them. So that's where we are now, and it's going to suck. Like, it. Do you, just imagine that you're this. how I don't even know how old that nigga. I don't even know how old Tinubu is. But let's say he's in his 70s, or let's say late 70s, right? Just imagine that you in your late 70s, like you're getting to the end of your life. You're getting ready to meet whatever is the creator of this universe, right? And you finally get the chance through questionable methods. You get the chance to to finally be the president of Nigeria, and then they and then they take it and then they take it away from you because of the questionable methods that you used to get it. Just imagine how fucked up that is. Just imagine how much of a fucking, like, yes, you earn, like, you get like $300 million every year. You're so wealthy, you're so rich, and this and that and that. But at the end of the day, you're just a fucking loser, man. Jesus Christ. She, when Abacha was in power, he exiled Tinubu. He exiled Tinubu, and only it was only when Abacha died that Tinubu came back to Nigeria, right? So it just shows that you're a fucking loser, man. Bro, this guy is just infuriating. I don't understand how people can like, I don't understand what well, I mean, I do, I understand. We all don't have the same level of human consciousness. That's what it all gets chalked up to. We don't all have the same level of human consciousness. So it might be kind of insulting, or the what is the word now, it might be insulting to say that the people that vote for Tinubu um don't have sense. People that voted for Tinubu don't have sense. It might be insulting, but that is just the best way I can say it, since we are now living in this solipsistic reality where your Tinubu is the savior of Nigeria, and my own savior of Nigeria happens to be what's his name? Peter Obi. So yeah, that's that about that. That's where we currently are in this whole Nigeria saga, where they are using where they are weaponizing poverty and using it to oppress us. So yeah, that's I think I've covered everything I want to talk about this week. And next week, when the governorship election comes up, let's see what happens. And let's also see if Tinubu is going to, sorry, not Tinubu. Let's also see if the whole let's also see if when Peter Obi takes them to court, he's going to win. Well, my ears and my eyes will be glued to whatever it is that is going on, and we hope that the results favors Nigerians at the end of the day. Yeah. So that's, and the people that want to like lose their faith in God because because of the whole thing, please don't do. This is not a good reason for you to turn to be an atheist. This is not why people become atheists. You become atheists because we read, and then we study the Bible, and then we use logic to discern for ourselves that the Bible is just a tool for control. Religion is just a tool for control, and understandable control. Sure. But the fact that somebody is losing an election doesn't is not a good enough reason for you to decide not to believe in God anymore. That is, if that is your reason, then shit, man. Were you really a Christian before? So yeah, that's that about that, man. Thank you all for listening to me. I've talked a lot. Imagine that I'm just so highly spirited and I do not smoke. That's wild. So yeah, thank you all for listening to me. Don't forget to, after listening, you rate the episode, rate the podcast, so that I'll get more, so that it will, like, the algorithm will like expand it more, and then I'll get more like listeners and stuff. And also share it with people. That this is a very important episode, so you have to share it with people. You have to share it with people, so that people will hear, people will listen to it, and people will have hope and stuff. And send me and follow me on Twitter. That's where I am these days because that's where I am supposed to be these days. So follow me on Twitter, General Prime One, and also you can send me an email at generalprime14@gmail.com. And yeah, that's it. And thank you all for listening, and thank you for giving me your listening ears. And yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, bye everybody.